Hi, Big Sam here at the DU Football Show, an avid Everton supporter. Today, I get to pour Mr. Graham his second shot of Malort because we kicked their ass twice. You're listening to the DU Football Show.
You're such a cunt.
The greatness of fucking the producer is she can produce you whatever you want.
You suck.
Let's start the show.
Born in the land of Bowie, Maryland. Bred to be a fan of fucking Everton. Punch you in the eye and drink your rye. Sam Houston.
Sam Houston?
Arsenal fans have another Sam. AKA the fucking Gooner Graham. Smell the Malort. Looks great in shorts. Sam Graham, hey.
Sam Graham.
Fucking United! Fucking United!
Hello and welcome to the Drunken United Football Show, a completely biased recap of the English Premier League installed by two common American schmucks. I am your host, Sam Houston, apparently has trouble with English, and across the way is the rather surprised Samuel Graham. How'd you like that little pleasant surprise, Sammy?
You're not common. You're one special fuck. American fuck. Not schmuck either.
Uh-huh, yeah.
Dickhead.
How you doing?
I'm fine.
Yeah, feeling good?
No.
Been,
Terribly annoyed, and I don't like any of it.
It's great when it's been a tough day and you come to this nice little, fortress of solitude to relax and unwind and be around your friends, and your friends fuck you right off.
Yep.
We're recording at Studio H, just outside the nation's capital. You can check us out on all podcast platforms. Please be sure to follow, review, rate, and share with your footballing friends. Should you want to chat with us, there is many ways that you can. Sammy, tell the good people how they can get in touch.
You can send all your hate mail to... No, I'm just kidding. It is DUfootballshow@gmail.com to get in touch via email, and at DUfootballshow on all the social medias.
Very good. And also, currently, guys, we have been nominated for a few podcast awards, too, from the Maryland Podcast Awards.
Yes, we have.
Including Best Show, Best Sports Show. Host for each of us got a nod. And also for Best Production for producer Mel over here.
And I think also in Most Entertaining.
Yeah, I think so.
Entertainment and Best Sports as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then Podcast of the Year overall.
Yep.
So we're in a fair few categories.
Yeah. So what you need to do is go to MarylandPodcastMonth.com, or you can go to our Twitter or our Facebook group where we have a link to the voting process on all of those social media places.
Yep.
Please take a few minutes. All it costs is your time. It costs you no money at all, and it helps us out an absolute ton. While you're there, there's a few other friends of ours that have been nominated for some things too. Mm-hmm. Be sure to show Mel's show, The Loud Women's Club, some love where you can. Under the news category, be sure to show our friend Alan Birdie some love with the Revenues podcast.
Yep.
And of course, our good occasional third chair, soon to be Sam Graham's replacement, good old Alan, and the middle class holes. So,
Yep.
Like I said, just take a second. It would really mean a lot. We'd love
all of us.
Yeah, it really would. We'd love to see if we can't be Best Sports Show is something we're really, really wanting to strive towards. And also,
And
personally,
Sam Graham is Best Host.
go right ahead.
If you can't choose between these two very talented gentlemen as your favorite host, you can always throw a vote my way.
Well, yeah, that's right, for a Loud Women's Club. But more importantly, honestly, if there were two that really mean a lot to me personally, I'm not speaking for the two of you because I know you guys want everything. But for me personally, Best Sports Show and Best Production, because I also know the work that, as much as she drives me fucking crazy, the work that my wife puts into the show, and I really want to see her acknowledged for it, because it's listening to other podcasts.
Because you know damn well it's not going to come from you.
No, fuck no. Let people say she's great. I don't need to tell her she's great.
It means less coming from you. You're supposed to say it because you're married.
Well, and
I repeat, so I don't want any doubts about that. I feel sorry that my team,
my producer,
is a team that didn't bring to the game not just the basics of football, I believe the basics of life.
Life, I tell you, it is absolutely the
not
basics
just
of
the
life.
basics of producing, but the basics of life.
Definitely have to cut that down and keep that one.
Yeah, the basics of football, but the basics of life.
The basics of life.
Fucking
Failed.
funny.
We have to have
That'll
the word
live on
failed.
forever. It's brilliant.
It's just so God. Now, don't worry, he's going to be coaching Newcastle soon enough, and we'll fuck that off right there too. Sam and myself both work in the wine and spirit. Oh, and I got muted. What the
Jesus.
fuck was it? I just talked about you being a great fucking producer, and you fucking mute me right. I'm in the middle of doing call to action. Well, everybody, by the way, voting ends May 1st. Do not vote for my wife for best fucking producer. Sam and myself both work in the wine and spirit industry, and both have a deep, passionate love for all things distilled spirits. So as the red-blooded Americans we are, we've got to have a drink in our hand throughout this show and every single show. Can we pull it together, people?
No, that was the best timing. You couldn't have gotten Seinfeld's writers to do that any better. That was fucking brilliant.
Sammy, what are we drinking, brother?
All right, so we have a single, it's not a barrel. What do we do? A single release for a store of mine?
Yeah, a special release.
A special release that was done for a store of mine by McClintock. This is House of Liquor's Staycation Gin. This is a prominent gin with notes of bright citrusy orange peel and lemongrass, and it was created to accompany a summer escape. Your plans may have changed this summer, but this gin can still be the perfect companion to your staycation, which it is. Comes in at 90 proof, 45% by volume. There was only one offering made, so maybe 100 bottles tops.
Yeah, one of a kind.
Yep. And it's only available at House of Liquors in Westminster, Maryland.
Yeah, about 45
and it
bucks.
is fucking fantastic.
It is a citrus bomb. This is a citrus-led gin
is
all the way.
Big time delicious. And we also put it with the Fever Tree lemon tonic water to just draw that citrus out even more.
This is basically a Tom Collins being made with tonic water instead of soda water. So you get that little bit of quinine bitter bite
big time.
coming through too.
Oh, it's lovely.
Fresh lime, and I put a little bit of the Bitterman's Boston bitters in it, which is a chamomile and citrus bitter.
Okay.
So basically, I was just going for a nice tall glass of lemonade that just happened to be gin and tonic.
Yeah, and you hit the nail on the head yet again with this cocktail, and this is why, this is a quintessential why we all love gin
Oh, God, yeah.
moment. And it was a lovely day for it as well. It was, actually a little warm today.
Yeah, well, and the other thing to remember, too, is with gins, we talk about this last season. We probably really haven't brought it up as much this season. You can put 10 gins in front of a person, and all 10 will taste different. There's always going to be juniper. That's required. That is
To be gin, yep.
required ingredient is juniper. But beyond that, you can put whatever the hell you want, and a lot of it is based off of, in the case of McClintock, it's mostly all local ingredients that they're working with.
Yeah.
And you can make it be more floral. You can make it be more spicy. You can make it be really big and junipery, like a London Dry would be, right? That's where people who don't like gin, who say, ooh, it tastes like a Christmas tree, it's probably because you drank either Bombay, Beefeater, or Tanqueray.
Yep.
Yeah, and those styles are always going to be that big juniper forward kind of style. Other big thing we didn't talk about really so much last week, other than we mentioned that we were using a Fever Tree tonic. Quality tonic, people. Spend the extra money.
Yeah.
Get a high quality tonic. Q, Fever Tree. There's a bunch of decent brands out there. If you're making a batch, I get it. You can't afford freaking
A case of Fever Tree to fucking get it done.
Right. It's a $4.
It's a Schweppes or
it's a $4
right.
4-pack. So when you're gonna make a pitcher, buy Canada Dry or Schweppes. Don't buy the store one. Because the store one really isn't very good, and the quinine's so turned up, it's just very bitter. The other key thing in gin and tonics, or just drinks in general, and I've said this when we've done videos before and stuff like that, cold. The tonic has to be cold. Do not do room temperature tonic. Cold tonic actually helps mix the spirit more. So you don't have to stir or shake your drink. The point of a build drink is you're using a cold mixer that then helps mix the drink on its own, so you don't have to give it a shake or a stir. It's fantastic. Really, really good. I'm happy with this.
Yeah, excellent. It's very good. I'm very impressed. Actually, when I see them on Wednesday, I'm going to pick myself up a bottle.
Yeah, it's damn well worth it. So, all right, kids. Sam,
Mine's half empty.
anything else you got to say there?
Please remember to drink responsibly.
It's not getting any better than that.
Yep.
Oh, well.
Nominated for Best Producer. The rise and fall of the Super League really dominated the news this week, but there was a ton of action out there as well, and during the midweek as well. So in our first section, the midweek happened. Chelsea 0, Brighton 0, Spurs 2, Southampton 1, City 2, Villa 1, Leicester 3, West Brom 0. Sam, we got 12 games to talk about, so we're going to kind of keep it going and quick tonight, so we're not doing a 2-hour show.
Well, protesters were blocking the bus from getting into Stamford Bridge for the Chelsea-Brighton game on Tuesday. And Thomas Tuchel came out very blatantly at the end and after the match and said that was definitely a distraction to his players.
Yeah.
You could see it on the field. They traditionally, at least their build-up is quite good. They hold the ball well under Thomas Tuchel. They just sometimes lack, the finishing ruthlessness that we've seen from Chelsea strikers of the past. But this time, those problems reared their ugly heads again. And Brighton fairly comfortable, I'd say, in their shutout, in their clean sheet.
Yeah.
Actually caused a couple of problems. I think Danny Welbeck that hit the bar in this game as well. It was, there were some chances, but all in all, it was relatively dull, in my opinion.
And we'll mention Brighton a little bit later, but this was a big point for them, despite what their weekend's result was. We're starting to see. We know who's safe and we know who's going down. We're kind of at that point now. It's going to take a miracle to change things. And while Brighton may be the 17th place team, Brighton's safe.
Yeah, no, I would tend to agree with that. I don't think Fulham's going to be able to overtake them at all. And Brighton, you can always, at this stage of the season, it's fairly not cynical. What's the word I'm looking for? Cliche.
Yeah.
To say, but the goal difference is almost an extra point.
Oh, God, yeah, it is.
And they're, +8 or +9 over what Fulham is at the moment. I think Fulham's minus either 17 or 18, and Brighton's only -9. So that goal differential is going to be an extra point for them going into these final couple of weeks.
Yep. Of course. Moving on to the next one, Spurs and Southampton. Spurs looked god-fucking awful in the first half.
Yeah.
I mean, it was horrid. You were just like, oh, Jesus, why did they fire Jose? What the fuck?
They were just practicing their League Cup final preparation.
Clearly.
Because they were shit in that game as well.
Oh, my God.
Southampton completely dominated the opening exchanges. And if not for Hugo Lloris, had an outstanding double save, only about a minute and a half or so in, something like that. It could have been a lot worse for Spurs.
Right.
If he did not step up the way in which he did. But you had Danny Ings did fire Southampton, in front on 30 minutes.
Great goal.
It was a great goal.
It's amazing who they are when they have Ings and they don't have Ings. And that's with Che Adams improving. Like, Che Adams is not doing terrible. He's starting to get a hang of the Premier League. But what Ings offers that club is pretty important. And kind of weird that, the penalty that goes to Son at the end, it's like they're supposed to be looking at offsides. They didn't see offsides. So now we're moving back to see if there was a foul. Like, there's
a lot going on.
I get it's VAR's purpose, but it kind of felt like, okay, we didn't find what we needed to find to help make sure Spurs won. Let's find something else. Let's find another thing. Just it felt off, but it's ultimately good result for Spurs. They desperately needed it. If they would have lost that match, you could have done and dusted them from the Champions League completely. At least they still have a glimmer of hope here, and they still have a good sound shot at potentially being in Europe as well. So
right, and with City, as we'll come on to, winning the League Cup final, that's another Europa League spot opened up on the league table.
Yep, exactly.
But Gareth Bale with a delightful goal.
Oh God, yeah.
Great reactions to bring the ball under control, and then the composure to just pick out that top corner was sublime.
Yeah,
it was excellent. It's not often I praise a Spurs performance or a Spurs player with that degree, but it was lovely.
So apparently McGinn fucks quick. Fucks real quick.
Yeah.
Real quick.
He fucked
Minute
like
in.
rabbit.
Under 30 seconds. I believe it
he
was in
fucked
the
like rabbit.
22-second mark.
21 seconds is what I did on the
Yeah.
highlights is what I saw, yeah.
That's like a quick boom, boom, done.
2 red cards in the game,
Oh, my God.
but they didn't actually affect the game because all 3 goals came with all 22 men on the pitch.
Yeah. I stand corrected. I said, what would happen if that was John Stones? Would you red card him? Apparently, yes. Yes, you would. You'd look at VAR and you red card him.
What
So
a spectacular tackle that was. Fucking wild. What are you doing?
yes, why? Why?
You have absolutely no business going in like that. It was horrible.
Well, I've heard a few people who were like, well, it really wasn't a red because he didn't hit him that hard. I'm like,
Come on.
it spikes above the shin guard near the knee. It doesn't.
You know what wasn't a
It doesn't
red?
matter.
Balbuena?
Yeah, we're
at
gonna,
the weekend.
We're talking
was
about
not a red.
We're talking about that in the next.
This was a
segment.
definite red card.
It's you went in for a tackle. You were spikes above the shin pads, damn near close to the knee. It's a red. It's what they. It does not matter how good, bad, indifferent, what it looks like, slowed up, or it doesn't matter. It was a red. And then fucking
Matty Cash.
Matty Cash, apparently he fucks rough. That's what Matty Cash does.
oh, yeah. He,
2 fucking yellows in a quick succession.
3 minutes, I think it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah. Yeah, Bill boys get it done fast, don't they?
I'm gonna fuck hard. I'm gonna fuck fast. That's what Matty Cash's quote was. Now,
Yeah.
but the key thing is Mel forgot about
I
this.
did totally.
She
I really thought I didn't have to
lost
do
in the
one
midweek,
tonight.
but she's got some Malort to do. Oh,
Uh-oh.
I mean,
what do you guys say about that?
you know, here's to fucking.
Here's to fucking.
I was supposed to talk more about it, I guess. I honestly, I only caught about half the match because my neighbors came over. We had the TV set up, the new TV, the one that he didn't break, set up outside. Lovely day. So I'm outside watching the game very intently. And the neighbors come over and won't leave. I'm
Which
like, yeah, my game's
neighbors?
on. The other side of me. I'm like, the game's on. Hey, the game's on. Hey, oh, great. The game is on. So, yeah, I missed quite a bit.
That's funny.
So, I'll do the shot to all the fucking
All the
neighbors.
fucking.
You can fuck off.
Heard. Very good.
All of the fucking.
Oh, I gotta do a
Foxes.
second one because I didn't finish that one. Oh, I'm going to hate this.
Oh, I think that looked a little big, to be honest. I think he's fucking with you there.
Oh, it's because I accidentally muted him earlier and he's making me bad.
Well, it's below the seahorse tails. Is where it's
Seahorse,
supposed to be-
see hell?
Okay.
That's where it's supposed to be poured to.
Spoiler alert for Graham. He's going to find this out later. That shot does not go well with the gin and tonics we're drinking.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
Can't
lovely.
wait. Fantastic.
You know, and maybe know when to produce a mute button, who to produce a mute button on, and I'd have a little more confidence in you, Miss Thing. And maybe you'd get a baby shot of Malort, and I'd be nicer to you. We all learn lessons. Leicester kicked the ever-loving shit out of West Brom.
Yes, they did. There really isn't much to talk about in this game because Leicester completely dominated throughout with absolutely no issue whatsoever.
Vardy scores, which was great. Iheanacho gets another fucking goal.
The Albion only managed 1 shot on target. But the play of the game, in my opinion, was Yuri Tillemans, I believe it was, pass to Castagna. That completely unlocked West Brom and left about 4 players for dead. And Castagna picked out Vardy very well, and that was that.
Yeah, so Castagna in general, now that he's back and healthy, he offers this kind of drive the lane as a wingback that not many wingbacks do. A lot of them tend to just work the sideline. He
cuts inside a lot.
He goes
yeah.
right between the
Absolutely.
outside defender and the in the center back, and he goes right into that lane, and he forces people to follow him,
100%.
which opens up so much space, man.
He's a
So much
good
space.
player. He's a very good player.
Well, you know, he comes from came from that club of Atalanta, and if we remember correctly, Juventus
Hey,
said,
listen, they don't deserve to be in the Champions League,
Exactly,
okay?
don't deserve to be in the Champions League because they don't have the history that Juventus has. So you have to remember that, right? as they're fucking right in the top 2 trying to win the league. You know,
you gave me very big like Wayne's World, Jay and Silent Bob vibes there.
Yeah, you like that?
No, yeah, I did like it. I enjoyed it. It was very nostalgic. We were like, he just knows how to drive the lanes, man.
Yeah,
He gave me that like 3-aid man.
yeah.
You know, that was pretty good.
Yeah, man.
That was pretty good.
Yeah,
I
it's my
thought
pleasure.
you would dip it into Mel's fresh air over there.
Yeah, well, you know how it goes. Really the only thing to talk about when it comes to
Did the Malort swell your
West Brom?
tongue or something?
It's just extra terrible. It's extra terrible. I don't know if he dunked his balls in her or not, but it's extra.
She's using her
Extra
phone to
terrible.
look at her tongue.
I need you, Melissa, to
You gotta
not
send me that. That's
to-
going on the social medias.
to watch your hand around the mute buttons. There's been mute button mistakes already, so I need you to kind of watch your mute button action there. Okay. Now the key thing.
Name of the show, MBMs. Mute button mistakes.
Big Sam. Did you hear him get nice and pissy after the match in his post presser?
Oh, I thought you were talking about yourself, and I was
No.
going to say yes. You get nice and pissy all the time.
This is constructive criticism, and all I say is do better. That's all. Just do better. Be best. Please be best.
Hashtag be best. I didn't see Big Sam's post match. Was he in desperate need of a pint of wine?
We
take
had
the
to
edge
play Sunday, then Thursday, or Sunday, then Thursday, and Villa has to play Saturday, then Thursday, but and then I have to turn around and play again on Sunday, and this is an unfair schedule, and they could have there was plenty of weeks that they could have put these games in other spots, and wow, they sure do make sure that all the big clubs get their proper rest, but clubs like us, they don't care. We don't have an opportunity to recharge. And he went right back at it again on the Villa game. He was like, we're still tired. We haven't had a chance to recharge. We haven't
Really?
oh yeah, he was very pissy about it, which
When
is
you
funny
have-
because he's an old school English manager. He knows this is the the rub, man.
Well, is this
is what this fucking league is.
Is this his Jose tribute?
It could also just be him looking for excuses for why his team's going down. And the number one reason why his team's going down? Him.
I'd say the board. They fired Slaven Bilic when they shouldn't have, in my opinion.
True.
They
Very true.
they have to take some blame.
Right.
But yeah, no, he hasn't done anything to really improve their fortunes at all.
not at all.
So he owns a big piece of this as well.
And
You're
the changes,
absolutely right about
and
that.
the changes that he's made to the team, he's bet a decent coin of the team's money that those players may or not stick around. He may or may not stick around. Who knows what the fuck they're going to be in the championship?
And he didn't complain 2 weeks ago when they put 4 past Chelsea or whoever it was.
Oh yeah,
At Stamford Bridge, or 5 it was. When
Yeah.
it 5-2 won it.
yeah, it was 5-2.
He kicked his legs up, sitting there laughing.
Yeah, of course. Well,
A fucking twat.
and of course now they have to win 4 or 5 after the Villa draw.
Well, his plan was winning 5 of 8.
yeah. So
He
now he's just going to
lost
win.
the last 3. There's
Gonna
now
win.
5 games left. So right now they're still on track.
Yeah, got to do what you got to do.
It's not going to happen, is it?
The race for European football is getting really good, and a lot of sides still have a say in it. Everton won, Arsenal nil.
Fuck you.
Liverpool won, Newcastle won. Don't blame me for your team's faults. Chelsea won, West Ham nil. Our game sucked, really.
The first 15 minutes we were running ragged. And I said, because we did a Zoom with everybody, and if you want to be a part of things like that, all you have to do is find Drunkard United FC on Facebook, which is where we tend to announce these things with our closed group of people. So just find that group on Facebook, apply to join, and we will more than likely accept you as long as you're not to cunt. Anyway, Arsenal opened up 15 minutes in and were dominant. The ball barely left your half of the field for that opening 15 minutes. And I said on the Zoom, if we do not take advantage of these first 15 minutes, we are either going to lose 1-0 or draw 1-1. And what the fuck did we do?
Yeah,
Lost 1-0.
It's there's a lot of promise out of the young players on the pitch, They looked great. There was a lot of confidence on the ball. Problem was there was no confidence in the final third. There was no ruthlessness to put the ball in the back of the net.
Aubameyang's still out with malaria.
Yeah, that
I've
hurts.
seen this week return to training. And then Lacazette had his hamstring fucked last week. So we're running into a situation here where two of our most experienced players and our definite two best goal scorers were both out, and we had to rely on young Eddie Nketiah, who, when he does get his goals, typically they are the third or fourth in the lot that we have. He's not a game changer yet. He has potential, sure, but we couldn't even get him the ball after that opening 15 minutes. We couldn't get him anything. It was pitiful. We fell back into ourselves, and it was fucking pitiful. And then Bert Leno flapping at shit again, and flapping at a ball that was on the ground was easily catchable. I'm not a goalkeeper. I could have saved that.
Yeah, don't let it go between your legs.
Simple.
Like that.
How do you do it? He hit it between his own legs.
Yeah.
It was pitiful. Fuck me.
I would credit Luca Digne did a very good job on Saka.
He definitely did.
But
Saka was quiet throughout.
But that being said, I thought Pepe had a really decent fucking game. Like,
it wasn't bad.
And he was pinning Coleman back, which made Richarlison have to come back. And that was, there was a lot to be happy with, just no final product, which has got to be frustrating as all hell. And then Everton,
it is.
Everton grew into the end of the first half and had a couple of good chances, and Gylfi put one off the post, and it was what it was. Of course, the complete fuck up of a goal by Leno, but really the only incredible fun thing to talk about is Fabian Delph finally gets an appearance back on the pitch. He's finally healthy again, and wears the wrong fucking socks. Seriously, it's sad. That's the highlight of this game. Whole team wearing blue socks. Fabian Delph wearing white socks. That's about all there is to say about this game.
It was pitiful. It really was pitiful.
Yeah. Except for I do have to say it's very fun to pour you 2 shots of good old lovely Malort here.
25 years it took you all to do the league double over us.
I remember it was my first full
That's
game.
Not below the seahorse, mate.
Below the tails. Thank you very much. And it is
I'll just let you ramble. I'm going to fuck off, mate.
Very first game I watched of Everton, of Everton in the league was against Arsenal, and Arsenal beat us 7-1. And Sam was a very gracious host as I watched the game with him, as he laughed at me the entire time, saying, "Mate, you sure that's the selection you want to make? You sure that's the selection you want to make?" So, how was that? Good, tasty?
More bitter than usual.
You should probably wash that down with some gin and tonic there.
I think I'll wait based on Mel's recommendation.
Well, enjoy 10th place. We took 6 points off you. Fuck you, you fucking cunt.
25 years. I was 9 the last time y'all did that.
Well, you know what? Don't matter. Did it this year. Now, may a year since we done it now? 0, because we did it this year, motherfucker. Ha ha ha!
Yeah, 0 days without an incident. We can go ahead and erase the board in the changing room.
The Reds fuck it off again. Every chance to win this game. Lots of opportunities to score.
I celebrated Joe Willock's goal more than I did our own game.
Well, it was nice for somebody. It was nice for somebody that's affiliated with your club to score a goal this weekend.
Yeah, it was pitiful. You know what this week had a very strong vibe of? So it's hard because the bigger teams did not consult the managers or footballers about the European Super League.
Right.
They did it. It was completely a boardroom behind closed doors thing. They didn't know about it. They didn't know the announcement was coming. The smaller teams are all pissed off, quote unquote smaller teams. I mean, Everton's a huge club. Villa's a huge club. Newcastle's a huge club. It almost seemed like, and all of those teams this week throughout, whether you had 1 or 2 fixtures, gave more than decent accounts of themselves and showed why the European Super League is a terrible idea. Mm-hmm. And this was another example of that. I mean,
fuck bucking Leicester. Two solid wins, comfortably in 3rd place now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, fuck your Super League. That's exactly what Leicester is saying right now. Is fuck your Super League.
Yeah, that's what everybody said. Look, Brighton and Chelsea 0-0. They held Chelsea to a clean sheet. All of these results. I mean, Villa and Manchester City.
Klopp,
we talked about before. And then this Newcastle wasn't it at Anfield, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like, what do you know?
Klopp even conceded, we continue to play like this, we don't deserve to be in Champions League.
Yeah.
He flat out said it
because
afterwards.
you should be there based on merit. You shouldn't have a guaranteed place in a competition. It's not how it works. And they tried to fuck that up at boardroom level. And we saw this week the footballing, quote unquote, poor, because none of them are really poor because of the TV money.
Right, of course. They're doing well for themselves.
The footballing poor took it to the footballing elite over this past week.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much across the board.
Yeah. Everyone dropped. Minimum was nervous.
Yeah. Chelsea got a win. Tottenham got a
first
win.
minute.
But Chelsea
How many times has City conceded in the first minute?
Yeah.
Ever.
Never. Yeah.
First 30 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah.
Never.
Yeah. Villa came right out and said, fuck
It
you.
said, fuck you. Exactly.
Yeah. Might
You
not have
take
held
your
on for the
European
win,
Super
but they
League and
came
shove it
right
up your
out.
fucking ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
Definitely some statements this weekend.
You know what? And I don't not like it. I don't not like it.
Yeah.
Now, my team was on the receiving end of a fucking shit show.
Yeah.
But you know what? Fine.
Yeah. It's what
Just the fact that it was you makes me like, I hate
Bitter.
it. Yeah, no, it sucks. Fucking sucks.
So in the case of Liverpool-Newcastle here, Liverpool had chances to win this game, put it away a lot. And either it was mistakes on their part or a couple of decent saves from Dubravka, but really this game should have been done and dusted. And then it took a goal being called off by VAR with Colin Wilson because of a handball, which
is bullshit.
Yeah, but now when they
To the letter of the law.
and they rewrote the law to say something different, and it was if you're the player directly involved in the goal for the handball, it doesn't matter if it hits your arm; it's a handball, which again is bullshit. It's absolute bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
But then to only have it a minute later at the death. Another goal that gets checked by VAR and is then okay.
Yep.
Just fucking brilliant.
And it was great. It was fucking great. And Joe Willock, it took a wicked deflection.
Oh yeah.
But Joe Willock scoring the goal, which it was fantastic. And I love to see it. It's 3 games in a row now. He's had a game-changing involvement.
Yeah. And
So
it's mostly been off the bench too, hasn't it? All 3 games have been off the bench.
Yep. And Steve Bruce even said, and then the question was put to Joe Willock himself after Steve Bruce was Steve Bruce said that he's becoming a bit of a super sub, and Joe Willock was like, "Yeah, I don't like that tag. That's I'm doing pretty fucking well. Start me, boss.
Yeah,
like kind of
Papa want to play.
Yeah,
let's get Daddy in the lineup because I'm doing well for you.
But it was again, where's this Newcastle been? Yeah, one of the other pundits I listen to regularly said like that's where John Joe Shelby should be. And then one of the other guys on the show said that John Joe Shelby's just arriving into the box now.
3 days after the game's
and he
over.
said just like a meerkat on the fucking prairie looking for predators. just finally got there.
Yeah.
But that's what he should be doing, arriving into the box late. And he's not. And that's why Joe Willock is coming in. That's why Joe Willock is scoring goals. He's doing what a younger John Joe Shelby would have done.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic. It's working out. And he also has a lot higher level of maturity than John Joe Shelby, as evidenced by not having any red cards.
Yeah, precisely. Newcastle's free and clear, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, I mean,
sadly, I believe so.
You
want them punished because their owner's a twat waffle.
Well, that's what I'm gonna get at. Is okay. So their coach sucks, their ownership sucks, but what ultimately happened was their talented players did what they were supposed to do and got them over the line. That's really what it comes down to. Because I told you this earlier on, Sam. I said this team was too good to even be in this situation. They have the personnel. They just have a fucking shit coach.
To be at least mid-table?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
And they were comfortably mid-table under Rafa.
And then it just all went to shit, especially this season.
Did you see somebody for Liverpool tweeted at Alan Saint-Maximin after the game and said, I wish you would sign for Liverpool and we send Mane the other way.
Wow.
And Saint-Maximin responded with the most wholesome of answers, going, you are an ungrateful person.
Aw.
What he's done for you is more than I could do at this level, and I have a long way to go before I could pass him.
Wow. Stand up on his part.
Absolutely.
Very stand up on his part.
Fantastic. So you need to reevaluate yourself, basically, in what you're thinking. This is a knee-jerk reaction. I'm not as good as him.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic, especially from a fucking Frenchman.
Yeah.
So they walk around with chips on their shoulders.
Yes, they do. Let's go ahead and get to the big one.
Freedom fries!
Chelsea beat West Ham. There's only one.
Stop shaking your head.
There's only one thing to talk about. Balbuena was not a sending off.
No, it's ridiculous. I'm a defender.
Swinging his ball. He was swinging his foot through after he kicked a ball. The player ran into him.
If that happened to me at Soccer Dome, I'd have headbutted Garfield in the chest.
It just.
I'd have Zinedine Zidane Garfield, and I would never go there again.
So what you've just done in that VAR moment is you have now told every striker, when you see a defender kicking a ball, dive at his feet. Because if he kicks you, technically it's a red. That's what that VAR moment says.
So he came down on the back of his leg, and I get it. And it was high up his high up his calf, and I get it. The thing is they were very close together, right? When he cleared it. He was off balance when his right foot, which he cleared the ball with, made connection with the player's right leg. His left leg was barely even touching the ground. He had no balance.
Yeah, he was swinging through a ball he fucking cleared.
He cleared. Yeah. He had no base, right? And the Chelsea player just left his leg in, and from the clearance, your kick goes up. Your foot has to come back down at some point.
Right.
And it landed on top of the calf of the Chelsea player in question.
Horrible.
Terrible call.
Horrible.
They even looked at it. They VAR'd it, looked at it, and fucking decided amongst themselves it was a red. It's absolute bullshit. Tell me what he is meant to do with his leg other than what happened.
Right. Yeah.
It's bullshit.
I haven't heard
Later
anything.
in the same game, Vladimir Soufal cleared a ball and kicked, I can't remember who it was now, probably Hudson-Odoi maybe? Over on the left hand, it might have been Mason Mount. Somebody on Chelsea's left-hand side. Vladimir Soufal cleared a ball, and his studs landed on the thigh, the front of the thigh of the Chelsea player. VR didn't even look at it.
Yeah, Graham Lasso in that moment went, well, by that definition, he's supposed to get a red card. He swung
you
through.
set the precedent earlier in the game, so why didn't you send him off?
Yeah, that should have been a red card.
Because you know you're fucking wrong.
I'm waiting to see if the league pulls back that
The league
card.
has to pull it back.
They
It's
have to.
stupid. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely. So one last
Game's gone.
One last thought here on Chelsea before we move on from the segment is
Timo Werner getting a goal
he finally scores a goal.
in the list of people that fucking need one.
Look at their schedule the rest of the way. It's not that easy. No, they've been winning a lot.
Oh, sorry, we're not a challenge anymore.
Two London derbies, the West London Derby and you, are the easy parts of the schedule.
Okay.
They have Real, and that's not easy. Playing the derbies, the records go out the window. You say that all the time.
Hey, first double in 25 years, and now you're the easy part. Now this is a little big for his britches over there.
I'm telling you, it's all difficult when the derby, quote unquote, is the easy
I understand.
part.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm joking with
Especially, I mean, they get Fulham, who's playing desperately for their lives. Like that's in a West London derby. This
always
weekend.
a tough thing to do.
You've got Real Madrid twice in the semis. You have City still left to play. You have Leicester still left to play. And you also then have Leicester to play in the FA Cup final. Like, they got it tough the rest of the way.
Yep, they do.
Rounding out the rest of the league, so that happened. Sheffield 1, Brighton 0, Burnley 4, Wolverhampton 0, Leeds 0, Man U 0, Villa 2, West Brom 2, Leicester 2, Palace 1. And like that, Brighton are 17th place again.
Yeah.
Brighton, Burnley, and Newcastle are doing this fun little switch around on who's going to be the closest to the drop zone. The good news for all of them is that they're getting enough points that they're all safe.
Well, Brighton, this was a bad result, I'd say, for them. It was a weird-ass game. There were some very bizarre passages of play in this game that didn't really make a lot of sense to me. It was evidenced in the goal. I mean, it's half cleared. A lot of Brighton defenders running back towards their own goal. Veltman, I think it was, actually kicked it back towards McGoldrick, who just turned and finished.
Right.
It was very strange.
Yeah.
I think this was for Sheffield, their last ditch. We're going down.
Yeah.
Here's our last 3 points.
Yeah, here we go.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just it was a very weird game. I didn't care for it. And Brighton dominated most of the game, to be honest.
Well, this is
but the final ball lacked tremendously. Adam Lallana, that I think is probably the most glaring chance that was missed. On a half turn, right at the edge of the 18, got into the box and fired wide. And that just doesn't happen. You know, if that was him in his Liverpool days when he was fit, that's a finish.
Yeah.
And it's just not the case anymore.
Yeah. Like I said, I still think they're probably clear. I don't foresee them.
Yeah, I don't think there's a problem. It's just
It's
stupid.
It's as a Brighton supporter, you go, okay, there it is. There we are. Here's we tied Chelsea. Let's go get the 3 off of Sheffield. Call it a fucking day. We're safe.
Right. And they didn't do it.
Let's make it a question mark.
Yep.
Let's make us keep fucking guessing.
Let's ask. Right. Exactly.
Which is tough. I would like to know who took a Viagra, crushed it up, and sprinkled it into Sean Dyche's earthworms that he had that morning, because we thought the only team in claret and blue that fucked was Villa. No. Apparently, Burnley, especially Mr. Chris Wood,
Well,
fuck.
I would dare to say that somebody crushed it up into Sean Dyche's earthworms, but Chris Wood ate them and got wood.
Oh, my God.
First half hat trick.
Jesus.
Just went absolutely nuts. It wasn't even Burnley playing very well.
No.
It was a lot of Wolves mistakes.
Really bad mistakes. All 3 of the first half goals were just bad mistakes.
Completely reeked of, we know we're not going to finish in the European places.
Yeah.
We know we're not going down. Who fucking cares?
Which is funny because they had been playing, they were getting results the 3 weeks prior. They were getting some W's and seemed like, okay,
they got a W last weekend.
Yeah, Wolves might even sneak into top 10 maybe the way things are going.
Willie and Jose got the goal last week. And it fucked it completely. They just didn't care.
By the time it was 1-0, they were already like, okay, we're done.
Whatever.
Dubai time. We're on Dubai time now.
Exactly.
Definitely on Dubai time.
Yeah, we're all vaccinated. We can go to Dubai. It is horrible.
Jesus.
What a terrible performance from them.
And then on the other side for Burnley. And then Lee Westwood right at the end of the game, the 4th goal. That was a ripper. And it was an assist from Chris Wood.
Yep. Chris Wood would be the top point getter in fantasy this week.
Alan Brody has Chris Wood. His only striker in the lineup.
3 goals and an assist.
Maximum return.
Yeah. It's a season's worth of return from Chris Wood. Jesus Christ.
One thing worth mentioning, Chris Wood is now one of, I think it's 6 players to score 10 goals in the last 4 years. And it's only the highest quality around him. It's Vardy, it's Salah, it's Kane, it's Mane. Like, you're like, wow,
Yeah.
So credit to him, and there's something to be said for consistency there.
The world needs a meathead.
Yeah. Leeds completely frustrate United, especially Bruno Fernandes. You could tell that match. Bruno did not like playing this match. He did not like Kevin Phillips marking him. He did not like anything about that
Calvin
day at
Phillips
all.
was awesome.
Calvin Phillips was all over him
in that game. It was great.
No opportunity to create a fucking thing from that side.
The couple of chances that did happen had a couple of pieces of very, very quality goalkeeping as well from both Henderson and Meslier. It was a great game, back and forth. This is the example of how a 0-0 in general, or a tie in general, could still be exciting.
Yeah,
there was a
absolutely.
lot of stuff in this game that there was to talk about, really. It had everything but goals. There was good football. There was good flicks. There was some cheeky stuff that happened. There was just nice patterns of play in general. There were ebbs and flows for offense and defense for both sides, with little 10-minute, 12-minute periods of domination. It was an excellent fucking game. Just didn't have goals in it.
Yeah. Moving on to Villa and the Albion. 2 penalties, an own goal, and a late snatch for the draw of the points.
The absolute desire on Davis's that he exhibited there.
Good for him to finally get a Premier League goal as well.
Yeah, but it was obviously a goalkeeping mistake where he dropped it. But Davis had to believe he had to be there.
Yep, got to get to it.
And he did. He got there and fucked right and proper.
They're seeming to figure out life without Jack, which is probably a
good thing since they're
Who?
going to lose him in the summer.
Yeah.
Who?
Don't start that. He's your best player. Come on.
Seeing Wesley back on the pitch was very nice as well. That offers them a little depth.
Who?
Wesley. They're the forward.
Oh, the Brazilian forward that doesn't score fucking goals?
Well, the one that's been injured for a year and a half now.
JPEG.
Yeah, exactly. But him back in healthy offers a little bit more. It just offers depth behind Watkins, and it also offers, if you want to, without having Grealish, you can go to a 4-4-2 and run 2 strikers as well.
Yeah.
So formation as well that could help them.
I don't understand how they gave Tyrone Mings an own goal for Diagne's fantastic run.
It's
But
because
they rated it an own goal.
It's because it went the opposite direction. Because Martinez was diving the direction of the shot.
Yeah, but
and
if it was
hit
on
him
target-
the other way, yeah,
I mean, Joe Willox did the same thing.
yeah, and it
But
counted as
Target
goal.
wasn't involved in that play.
The target.
the target.
The goal.
I just
It takes so little to please you guys. And again, at the end, Big Sam chopped it all up to them being exhausted, and there's only so much they can do because the scheduling was unfair to them.
Well, I'm sure he was exhausted walking up the stairs from the dressing room. Fat bastard.
Nothing a pint of red wine won't fix. Zaha with the early goal, but really at the end of the day, it was all Fox's. The Palace had one other opportunity outside of that, but this was
Iniacho goal and an assist.
14 goals in his last 14 games.
I think Alex Iwobi might be in danger of losing his place in the Nigerian side.
Could very well be because
Iniacho is on fucking fire right now.
Wow. I mean, he is right now the most informed striker in the Premier League.
Absolutely.
Who
This
would have
is-
thought that would be the guy?
This has been his glory time. His glory moment. Covering himself in glory all the time.
Credit to very good. It was a good one. She's laughing.
It took me a while to get there.
I love whenever Sam tells a joke and it's funny, but we're moving on. He gets the laugh from her, and then he looks across to me to be like, but you need to laugh too. I need to hear you
you know what his
laugh.
problem is?
What's that?
He's not nearly as fast as McGinn.
Oh, no, not at all. And hey, how about that? She hit the right mute button this time. Yay! It's all about the small victories.
See, I give you the response you're looking for. All I'm asking is you give me the same response.
You're doing just fine, best host. You'll be okay. Settle down. Great recovery for Leicester after 2 kind of head-scratching defeats. They get 2 wins in a row. A nice lead now on 4th place. I believe it's a 7-point lead. I'm feeling pretty confident Leicester's going to see this through and be in Champions League next year.
I would tend to agree with that.
And
They don't have the most difficult of run-ins either.
No.
I think they have the one game against Chelsea. Is that right?
Yeah, well, for the FA Cup and the season,
And that's about it. Yeah.
And well, to be it's also worth mentioning too. I've been a critic of them, especially early on, just because there was such inconsistency in what the side is. And really, I just think all the pieces and parts needed to come together. And there's a lot of depth on that fucking team.
Well,
a lot of
so-
depth on that team.
Now there is. When people first started getting injured, Soyuncu, and then Johnny Evans was out for a bit. Now the player that's coming in for both of them, when they are hurt or whatever, now finally has some experience.
Yeah.
Before he was completely
Fofana,
he was completely unseasoned, and it showed.
Yeah, he didn't play bad though. I thought he played well enough.
No, for somebody that hasn't truly settled
Right.
yet, yes. But now he's actually got experience on him, and he's playing very, very well when he comes in. Castagna, completely settled now. Looks very comfortable in that team. Just back to front, and Ndidi's back. James Madison is back.
Yeah.
So now you're looking at these.
Only guy you're missing is Barnes, really, right?
Right.
Now. That's the main guy you're missing, right?
And he's more of a flair complement type of player than a necessity.
Hurts their width, because he was
but without
someone who
James
always
Madison,
stayed wide.
they're not the same team.
Right. So, but I'm interested to see what that team's going to be like next season. To be quite honest with you, I think they have every right to be in the discussion to win the league next year. They've got good depth. They've got good management. They why not? As long as they make the right extra pieces, they pick up the right people to help them so that they're not stretched too thin for Champions League and the League Cup and FA Cup and all those other things that come within it. No reason why this team should not be firmly cemented in challenging for European spots / Champions League / title every year right now.
I'm with you.
The rate they're going, especially
100%.
with Iheanacho kind of surpassing Vardy not having an attitude about it, and still Vardy giving to the team. There's something very selfless about the team, and they deserve a lot of credit.
He giveth the effort, and he receiveth the vodka.
Yes, he does. And finally, for Palace, Zaha gets his 10th goal. I would say Zaha scores 10 goals again. It's only the second time he's done it, but he scores 10 goals again because he finally has support around him.
Absolutely.
It's what it comes down to.
He's not being focused on as much.
Yeah. I think
people have to worry about Eze.
I was going to say, for me, signing Eze was one of the top 5 signings in the Premier League by any club this offseason.
And the worst thing that's going to happen is when Zaha moves on in the summer after Roy's gone and Eze is stuck there by himself. And Eze will be the new Zaha, and he'll be completely focused upon and not have the same effect.
Okay, very good. Or they could all get worked out. I don't know, maybe.
Doubtful.
It's time to tell you what little we know. It is prediction time. Graham and I should give up on betting. The bird hit on a draw, and Pat making a major comeback. Put down some big bread on that game that he won on.
All right, we'll talk about that in a moment since we didn't do the cup final.
Oh, well, I mean,
there's not a lot to talk about. City won their 4th League Cup in a row.
Yeah.
It was a fucking wank fest. It was the hangover of Jose Mourinho. Spurs didn't even make it out of their own half. City players had to console Son because the children were sad.
I was going to do a tombstone bit.
All right.
And Son wept.
There you go. League Cup final done.
Yes, League Cup final done. Graham, you suck. You're now down $1,465.
Come on.
And the bad part is Pat's catched you. I think he's already with his bet hitting, surpassed you. So you're now in last place. What crazy shit you got this week?
Oh, I've got a Super 5 away day.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
In a parlay, these are all favorites. It should happen. I've got Leicester to beat Southampton, City to beat Palace, Leeds to beat Brighton, Wolves to beat West Brom, and West Ham to beat Burnley. And the mugs at us.888sport.com gave me the best odds of the season so far. A $100 bet will return me 4,846 George Washington dollar bills.
Okay. Look forward to seeing you down 1,500.
A Super 5 away day.
I picked one of those games, so I'm fucked. I'm going to miss my bet because of you. So, anywho, let's move on to happier news.
And now, it's time for our degenerate gambling friend Pat's Pick of the Week.
You know who's the big winner?
Who's the big winner?
Patty. Patty's the big winner. Yay, Patty! Yay. Hey, Patty, you are so money you don't even know it.
He's got like these bear claws, and she's like,
finally some luck went my way, right?
Yeah, I know. God, he's and I guarantee you, Patty, with that winning bet, told the waitress, hey, look, if you go easy on the water, there's a 50-cent piece with your name written all over it.
Be a dick.
It's not a dick, man. It's a money move. Look at the beautiful baby. She loved it, man. She loved it.
There's no chance she's coming back.
I assume this is a movie from before I was born.
You know who Pat is? Pat is the guy behind the guy behind the guy.
What is this, like Ocean's 11 or something?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I'm joking.
Hang on, Voltaire. It'll be okay. No, doing some swinger shtick that the three of us all know about. See, in the 90s, we went from being grungy, who cares people, and then we hit our douchey phase, which was a whole lot of swing music and the movie Swingers. That was our douchey phase, and we all bought into it, all of us.
When did y'all leave that phase?
Oh,
Because
dude, to this day, anytime swing music's on, we're all just like, yeah, we can't dance to it.
I
but-
know the douchey phase is still going. Is what I'm saying. You're not out of it yet. Just all douchiness.
Alrighty, Patty. So, what do you got for us this week?
All right. Well, with last week's huge hit, this week I'm actually just going to pick a one weekend game. And there wasn't really a whole lot that popped out at me. So this Sunday, I'm going to take Manchester United over Liverpool. It's plus 160, so you're getting good odds on that. And, I mean, I think they're just going to outright beat them. I think I'm going to put 200 to win 320, and that will put me back into the three-digit loss column at 905 when I hit that.
So, with
So hopefully I can string. What's that?
With what you hit this week, what are you at now?
I think it's like 1225 or something like that. 1220. Yeah. Something like that.
So
yeah.
you're 200 better off than Graham is.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
that's what's important to know.
All right, he'll be
now I'm
$4
gunning
grand
for
worse
you.
off than me when I hit my Super 5 away day.
And Pat, what's also great is tell Sam what bet it was that helped you be better than him in the betting segment.
Oh, it was definitely Everton over Arsenal.
Okay.
Remember yeah.
Yeah, that's what we just wanted to remember right there, Sam. It's because my
last
team
week when I
beat
asked
your
why
team.
were these odds crazy,
Yeah, there we go. It works out well.
and he confidently said, "Well, that's because Arsenal's so much better, right?"
Yeah, Sam's over there like a kid in kindergarten ripping up pieces of paper and crumbling them because he's just getting annoyed with everything. So it's pretty great.
We on to the chicken yet? Fuck's sake.
Alrighty. Well, just Patty, remember your money, baby. Your money, okay?
Yeah. Well, for now,
We'll
we'll
talk.
see what happens. Yeah, we'll see what happens next week.
We'll talk next week, brother.
All right. See ya.
All right, man. What I'm
Bye.
doing
Take it easy.
is I'm putting this in my wallet because this is money right here.
Okay. Your bet.
I'm making it wallet sized.
Your bet. Okay. Very good.
Yep.
Making a movie reference to a movie you don't even know. Okay. Excellent. Very good. Love it.
Correct.
All right. So
With a question mark.
All right, super fan.
look at him kicking his little legs. Oh, man. Just shut up. I'm going to make Wayne's head bleed for Mr. Superfan number 99 over here. I missed.
One for the kids.
I missed, and I'm starting to fall into Graham territory on my betting. So I'm now down $920. That's okay because it's been documented in Vegas that I suck.
Big Sam's Lock of the Week.
You had to say that right when I was drinking?
You weren't ready for that one, were you?
No.
Sam, 22.8% of the time it works. 100% of the time.
Taking a lot of pictures of him tonight. You know?
Yeah. Well, because I'm a very photogenic person.
Looks like he's ready to receive Carlos' cock.
I'm going very simple here, and I'm surprised there were odds on this. The game, to be honest with you, I guess it's because the
They're
Foxes
away.
are on the road.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Foxes to beat the Saints at plus 115.
Yep.
Something nice and simple. Just get a fucking W on my board again.
I also think that it's the last time they traveled there, they beat them 9-0. Mm-hmm. So they may be thinking the cup final came in, it's only a 1-goal win.
Yeah.
Also, you normally don't follow up a giant win with a giant win in
Yeah.
the league.
They played each other in this FA semifinals.
That's what I'm saying. And it was only a 1-0.
Yeah, there's familiarity.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It
but
probably played into the bookies' thoughts.
I'll take the odds. I think that's good odds, personally. So.
It is. That's why I picked as one of mine.
Now, that was a great segment. That went completely over your head because you've never seen the movie Swingers. But you know who has seen Swingers? Kitty the chicken.
Wasn't she in Swingers?
Yes, she was.
Like
no
the scene
doubt
at
in my
the,
mind.
No, the scene at the bar when Big Voodoo Daddy's playing. Kitty's one of the swing dancers
Yep,
out on
absolutely.
the dance
Just
floor.
cutting a rug.
Oh yeah.
Cutting a rug.
So-
Another reference for our younger
I mean,
listeners.
she had a jig. So Kitty was quietly relaxing with her court and royal guard as I approached the coop today. Now this week, I gave her the Houston Derby. Caused a little controversy. So Kitty pulled out her iPhone and showed me a picture of Ozzy Osbourne, Sir Paul McCartney, and Justin Bieber.
Odd.
Yeah, they were all at this charity event being held by Prince William. Now, Ozzy and the Prince are huge Villa supporters, but the Biebs and Sir Paul like the Toffees. So I guess Kitty's going for a draw in this match, but for a bonus, she said it'll be 2-2.
Huh. Two separate fans. That makes sense.
So there we go. And, Kitty always wants me to pass on to everybody to please gamble legally and responsibly.
A very interesting fantasy week as I took over first place.
Yes, you did.
In the week that ended Thursday, I am now numero motherfucking uno.
Yes, you are.
And that is
Not allowed.
me over Elliot this week, 25-19. After I took care of Rob, I'm only going to read out this week's from here on out.
Yep.
Brody, 46-21 over Keith.
Because he
Ray.
had Chris Wood.
Yep. Excuse me. Ray, 41-26 over Kenny. Russ, 43-27 over Taylor. JB, 28-18 over Chris. Firecock. Alberto, 50-44 over Smokey. Rob losing to Her Highness, 41-33. And Sammy, you taking care of Geckel. Big point getter most of the season. Only mustered a measly 12 this week. And you almost quadrupled him. And you had 45, my friend.
I made some good moves. Westwood, waiver wire trash, scores me a goal. I am the master of doing that this season, picking up a guy and him scoring for me that weekend.
So here we go. Me in first place on 67 points. Ray in second on 65. JB in third on 64. So getting kind of tight up top.
Mm-hmm.
Lindsay, Her Highness in fourth place, with 60. Alan with 57 in fifth. Keith down to sixth with also 57 points. There's only about a 60-point gap between them in, I guess you'd call it, point difference.
Mm-hmm.
Smokey stays in seventh on 53. Elliot in eighth on 51. You're up to ninth, my friend, on 50 points. Rob is down to 10th on 48. Alberto stays in 11th on 45. Taylor in 12th. Yes, indeedy. On the old 40-point safe mark.
Mm-hmm.
And then Russ is up to 13th on 38. Geckel moves down to 36 points in 14th place. Kenny stays just above the drop zone, 4 points clear of Chris. He has 29, and Firecock's got 25. And he better start working on his golf.
Yeah, he's going to be in trouble.
Fantasy writing.
Yeah, he's going to have, because I expect a damn good segment. And if it's good enough, maybe we'll put it on the show too. So,
you know, the worst
because
part
our
is,
show doesn't go long enough as it is, let's add another 10-minute segment of talking about fantasy golf, which has fuck all to do about our show.
you just have to do the fucking thing,
yeah.
which makes it even worse. We're not even going to read it out, but you have to do it. If you don't do it, we're going to fucking make fun of you.
We're just going to mock you for doing it. And by the way, this is someone who's.
But if you do it good enough and it's funny, we'll put it on. But if you don't, you still got to do it. But we're not saying anything about it.
And he's a Patreon subscriber, and we're still making him do this. Any parting words, Sammy?
Not really, to be honest. No real super douche cunt bags this week.
Yeah, other than Super League is done and dusted, and a few people tried to apologize in the most insincere ways ever.
I don't think it's super done and dusted, because apparently contracts were signed according to Florentino Perez and Andrea Agnelli.
Oh, yeah. They're going to try their damnedest to make this thing happen. They will.
Unapologetically trying to make it happen. Also, the chairman of Barcelona, the president of Barcelona, is saying the same kind of thing, not as harshly as Florentino Perez. But the Spanish clubs are so massively in debt, they need this to happen.
Yeah. Well, it's because
Period.
here's an idea, guys. Stop spending $100 million on
Every summer. Yeah.
Just on every player.
Yeah, fair
you
enough.
buy, like every player you bring in, you spend $100 million on, and then you sell people for, like, you let James Rodriguez go to Everton Football Club for $0 fucking dollars. All we did was pick up his salary.
Yep.
Nothing. You couldn't have managed to get us to give you $10 million for him. Like, it's bad business on your part. You deserved a fucking fail.
But if you look at their books in particular, they're both about 370, 380 million in debt.
Yeah.
This 400 million all of a sudden turns them into a profitable club.
Yeah.
So it's a very obvious thing that's happening here.
Yeah. And UEFA doesn't even at all look at them for any kind of.
But again, the apologies, as you said, the apologies show just how out of touch all of these owners are with everything they're doing.
The Kroenke statement, the Henry statement was just.
Now, what I will say about the Kroenkes, and credit where credit's due, Josh, as far as I know, the son of Stan, who is the actual chairman of Arsenal, participated in a fan forum on that Thursday.
All right, so you're at least listening to your fans.
So, well, he came out and directly addressed them in an interactive setting.
Yeah.
Nobody else that I've seen has done that.
No.
And he took it on the chin. They gave him shit.
Yeah.
And he gave the PR fucking, response that he's supposed to give based on the company and blah, 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 blah. We need to establish trust again. We hugely disappointed you and I understand. Oh, sorry. No, they were pictured at dinner with Trump. That's right.
And
It just, they don't care about the common people. That's not the point. But they did step out into the firing line and took it on the chin. And fair enough for that. Credit where credit's due. Now fucking act on it.
Well,
listen to it and act on it.
Already rumors of former players getting in with investors to try to make an offer to buy the club.
Yeah. Brand new inductee into the Premier League Hall of Fame, Thierry Henry.
Yep. And who else?
The person we've never seemed to replace, which is the beginning of our downfall, Patrick Vieira.
Who was Terry's date? Oh, I'm thinking of somebody else.
Yeah, you are. You're thinking of John Terry.
Oh,
he
I
likes
get my Terrys. I
No,
get my fucking
Thierry.
Terrys mixed.
Thierry.
All right, I'm good now.
Thierry
Henry.
Henry.
He likes to do his French accent
Come
whenever
on,
he calls him.
Yeah, it took 3 semesters of that in college.
I just think Terry. I automatically think fucking. Sorry.
No, Thierry.
Charlie.
All right.
All right. Yeah. So,
Anyway, Thierry Henry, who also just got inducted into the Premier League Hall of Fame beside Alan Shearer.
that was I was getting at.
First 2 players.
Yep.
I think part of that had to do with Ryan Giggs' recent legal troubles.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest.
It should have been those two all along.
Who?
Those Henry and Shearer. That should have been 1 and 2.
So, Ryan Giggs is the most decorated player, actually, I believe, in the world, but in Premier League history for sure. And anyway, his recent legal troubles, I think, definitely kept him out of the automatic induction process.
And then, no big, we'll talk about it another time, but there's a group of players that
Patrick Vieira and Thierry Henry are the 2 players, and then the guy that owns Spotify, the Swedish guy.
Yeah.
Only worth about $4 billion. They say it's going to take about 2.5 to buy Arsenal. I don't know if he's going to spend over half his fortune to do it.
Right.
The other 2 can probably only contribute about $100 million each.
Right.
There's a lot of muddy water there.
Yeah.
And the Kroenkes apparently don't want to sell. So we'll see. It's going to be a lot of fun next few weeks.
Yeah, well, you keep having a bunch of fans outside your stadium fucking during a pandemic when they're not supposed to be there, shooting off fireworks and flares, and at some point you might just go, not worth the trouble. Well, that's going to wrap it up, boys and girls. Next up is Injury Time, where we discuss the beers we've been drinking and preview the weekend's action. Sam, if somebody wants to find Injury Time, how do they go about doing that?
Actually, quite simple it is. You just go to your internet browser of choice and you hit www.patreon.com/DUfootballshow and sign up to one of the top 2 tiers, $5 tier and a $9 tier. Why, Mel? Because 10's too fucking much. And that will get you both sound check and Injury Time. And the $9 tier gets you a video of our 2 sexy faces talking about your fucking team.
Which we have to do tonight.
I know 2 of them.
Yeah.
It's not a chore, I promise.
Please, everybody, take a moment to go to our socials, find the Maryland Podcast Awards. Voting ends on May 1st. You are required to put in an email address, but for as many email addresses as you have for all the different fucking free subscriptions you have subscribed to, I expect everybody to vote at least 10 times. Until next week, everybody.
Guten Nacht.
We took 6 fucking points off you, dick.
Born in the land of Bowie, Maryland. Bred to be a fan of fucking Everton. Punch you in the eye. eye and drink your rye. Sam Houston.
Sam Houston.
Arsenal fans have another Sam. Right, the fucking Gooner Graham. Snub of my lord. Look straight in shorts. Sam Graham, hey.
Sam Graham.
Brooklyn United! Brooklyn United! Hit the fucking mute button!